As of this morning, there was still 19 flood warnings all across Wales. I'm here at the River Taff. It's not one of them, but as you can see, it's quite a raging torrent. Some of the rivers here in South Wales include the River Ely and the River Ogmore at Ewenny. There's also a major flood warning still at Boverton and Ewenny. So quite a lot of South Wales is still under risk of flooding, even though we have now seen the worst of Storm Angus. It's rained heavily again overnight onto already saturated ground, so there's a lot of rivers still rising even early hours of this morning. There's still travel disruption across Wales. There are still no trains out to Bridgend as there is flooding on the line, and there are still delays between Swindon and Bristol Temple Meads for all those travelling from Cardiff to London, again due to flooding on the line. Some bus services have been affected as well, as there's still quite a lot of standing water on the roads. Yesterday, Cosmiston Lakes flooded its bank, meaning bus services between Penarth and Sully were affected. There's still some bad flooding in Cathays as well, so keep an eye out for that. And if you are travelling, it's probably best to check before you go. Some schools across Cardiff suffered yesterday with flooding. Fire services had to be called out to pump water out of numerous schools across the capital city. So even though we're seeing the worst of the rain passing now, there's still a lot of warnings, there's still a lot of disruption out there, and Natural Resources Wales are urging people to take care and take a look at their website if they're concerned about their local area.
If you are worried at all, then have a look at our website, Natural Resources Wales. You can find information there on what's happening now, and also what to do if you are worried about it flooding in the future, because it can happen, and it can happen anywhere. Lots of good advice on there about, for example, making flood plans and thinking about insurance and things like that. Best advice is to think about these things in advance and don't wait till it's too late, really.
And this is the first bad storm of the winter months. What are the long-term forecasts saying? Are we in for more of the same, or is it too unpredictable?
It is quite hard to predict a long way ahead, but clearly last winter we had a really bad period of rain, and it could happen again. So again, the advice to people: find out whether you're at risk. Sometimes people don't realise they're at risk. Have a look at the website. Think about things like insurance, and think about things that you could do in advance. If it were to happen to you, what would you do about it?
The weather is meant to be drying up over the next few days, and we have seen the worst of Storm Angus, but it's still meant to be raining all through Monday, which will be adding to already saturated ground. So again, the advice is, if you're travelling, make sure that you check before you travel, and if you're near floodwater, check the Natural Resources website just to be sure that you're staying safe in the aftermath of Storm Angus.